We're only halfway through this nail-biting 2025 Formula One season, but the spotlight? It's already swinging toward 2026. And let me tell you, the paddock is buzzing. From whispered garage conversations to bold media soundbites, leaks and rumors about the all-new engines are spilling out faster than a pit-stop tire change. According to some of the most reputable insiders in the sport, we're getting a clearer picture of the 5 engine manufacturers, their progress, their struggles, and their secret breakthroughs that could shake up the pecking order next year. And today, we're going to dive deep into the updates and developments of every single one of 5 engine manufacturers in the 2026 grid. Behind the scenes, countless simulation tests are already underway, and the feedback is trickling in. Drivers are dropping cryptic hints, team bosses are giving knowing smirks, and every comment feels like another breadcrumb toward the truth about 2020 SIXS radical regulations. If what we're hearing is true, this isn't just a new chapter for F1. It's the start of an entirely new era. Alright, let's kick things off with the team everyone's watching, Mercedes. And for good reason. When it comes to the 2026 regulations, the silver arrows are already being tipped as the fan favorites. Multiple reputable sources suggest they're leading the pack in engine development. Carlos Sainz even admitted that one of the major reasons he signed with Williams for 2026 is the Mercedes power unit. Think about it, Sainz has first-hand insight into both Ferrari and Audi powertrains, so if he's putting his faith in Mercedes, that's saying a lot. George Russell is also upbeat, stating that development is going smoothly and meeting expectations. And honestly, it makes sense. Mercedes has a huge advantage thanks to their dominance in the turbo-hybrid era since 2014. Sure, they lost a major figure in Andy Cowell to Aston Martin, but most of the core team from those championship-winning years remains intact. Behind the scenes, simulation work has been relentless. But it's not all perfect. Reports indicate that in certain scenarios, like high-speed tracks such as Monza, the engine has suffered from battery depletion. Toto Wolff has been open about these as challenges they're actively working to solve. And speaking of Toto, he's made it clear he's not a fan of the proposed alternative 80-20 power split between the internal combustion engine and the battery pack. He's pushing back, and when Toto pushes back, you know it's serious. Bottom line? Mercedes looks confident, hungry, and possibly ready to pull off another 2014-style masterclass when the 2026 lights go out. Next up, Ferrari. For months, it was silence from Maranello. But now? The curtain's lifting, and the news is very promising. Ferrari has always had a reputation for raw, explosive engine power. Just think back to 2019, they built a monster of an engine, only for it to be, let's say, a little too outside the regulations. This time, though, it's different. At first, reports suggested Ferrari were running late on their 2026 development schedule. But now, insiders say they've caught up, almost neck and neck with Mercedes, missing out by just a couple of horsepower. That's close enough to make the battle very, very interesting. They do share one problem with Mercedes, though, battery depletion mid-straight. Imagine going flat out and suddenly losing that extra electric punch halfway down the straight, not ideal. And yes, it's a major focus point for them right now. Charles Leclerc was asked about the 2026 car simulations and, in classic Charles fashion, admitted he doesn't enjoy it. But quickly clarified that it's purely performance-related, not a comfort issue. And here's where it gets exciting. Ferrari's powertrain division has been upgraded with fresh talent from Mercedes, Honda, and Renault. That's a serious injection of expertise. Combine that with Ferrari's raw engine DNA, and you've got a team that could turn 2026 into a championship fight. Maranello smells blood, and they're going for it. We move now to Honda, and their high-profile collaboration with Aston Martin. And let me tell you, this could be the surprise package of 2026. Reports from inside the paddock suggest their development is running smoothly, and here's the kicker, one of the key figures involved is none other than Adrian Newey. Yes, that Adrian Newey. The legendary designer who has shaped championship-winning cars for decades. Now, it's not all smooth sailing. Honda's main headaches are coming from the battery side of the power unit. Aston Martin, too, has been battling the same issue, battery depletion mid-straight, especially on power-hungry circuits. It's a problem Mercedes and Ferrari are also wrestling with, so clearly this is one of the big technical hurdles for 2026. But here's the exciting part, the progress so far has been very promising. Insiders place Honda just behind Mercedes, and almost tied with Ferrari in the development race. That means we could be looking at a three-way engine battle when the new era begins. If Aston Martin and Honda can get on top of that battery issue, 2026 might just deliver one of the most unexpected fights we've seen in years. Now let's talk Red Bull, because for 2026, they're going all in on their own power unit, teaming up with Ford for the first time in decades. It's a bold move, but so far, it hasn't been the smoothest ride. Reports from inside the paddock suggest they're struggling to match the rapid progress of Mercedes, Ferrari, and Honda. In fact, insiders say they're lagging behind the top three in development. That's not what you'd expect from the reigning powerhouse of modern F1. Red Bull has even pushed for discussions on changing the proposed 50-50 power split between the internal combustion engine and the battery pack, something former team principal Christian Horner was vocal about. But here's where it gets interesting. Helmut Marko, never one to shy away from a bold claim, insists they're actually closer to Mercedes than the rumors suggest, only a couple of horsepower off the benchmark. Still, the whispers in the paddock paint a different picture. One of a team that's not entirely confident their new engine will match up to the competition when the lights go out in 2026. For a team used to dominating, that's uncharted territory, and all eyes will be on whether Red Bull, Ford can turn it around before it's too late. And finally, the team that appears to be struggling the most right now, Audi. Rebranded from Kick Sauber, the German giant's entry into Formula One was hyped as a new powerhouse, but so far, the development curve tells a different story. Reports suggest they're lagging noticeably behind the competition in engine progress. Chief Technical Officer Mattia Binotto has been brutally honest, admitting the team is in for the long game, and that their power unit might not be truly competitive for at least the next 4 years. That said, Audi's commitment is rock solid. They're banking on sustainable innovation, pushing renewable energy integration, and advancing battery technology that could pay off massively down the line. So here's the reality, 2026 is shaping up to be a battlefield. Mercedes, Ferrari, and Honda are sharpening their blades. Red Bull, Ford is fighting to close the gap. And Audi? They're laying foundations for the future. When the lights go out for this new era, the grid won't just be racing for points, they'll be racing for a place in the history books. And as we've seen time and time again in Formula One, anything can happen. Alright, now it's your turn. What do you think about all these 2026 engine rumors? Are Mercedes set for another 2014 style domination? Can Ferrari or Honda steal the show? Or will Red Bull, Ford or Audi pull off the ultimate underdog story? Drop your thoughts, predictions, and wild theories down in the comments, I'll be reading them all. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, share it with your fellow F1 fans, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next big update from the paddock. Until then, see you in the next one. Cheers.